you tired of the grind of everyday life? Are you fed up with not having energy to get up in the morning? Do you constantly feel as if everything is colored in grey and life constantly plays sad music everywhere you go? And for some reason, it always rains wherever you go outside.
Well, turn that frown upside down. The Legion of Memers is here to give you some chuckles, you thingus. And we're happy to bring you something to help give you that extra kick to get you up in the morning. Introducing Coffee Brand Coffee. Fresh roasted with no gimmicks and plenty of flavors to choose from. Use code HAIL the LOM to get 10% off and to help support the channel.
Hail to the Legion of Memers! Hail the Legion of Memers! Woo! Hail the Legion of Memers! Hail the Legion of Memers! Hail the Legion of Memers! Hail the Legion of Memers!
Hello, everybody, and I hope you are having a wonderful day. Unfortunately, you will see that our fearless leader, No Green Rocks, is missing. He is currently in the hospital having rocks removed from his stomach, or actually an appendicitis, whatever. It's same thing.
Same thing.
Right? You're human. You guys will fix that you'll figure that out for me in the end. You see, we have today, It's Andy, editor for Oompasville's second channel. We are very excited to talk to him. And of course, we have Mo and Iron. I hope everybody is having a great day.
Absolutely.
Having a great day. Hello.
Yeah, good. So, Andy, why don't you go ahead and tell us about Oompaville for those of us who may not know for whatever weird reason.
Sure. Yeah. So Oompa.
Mostly Mo.
Yeah, mostly for Mo. Oompa is a large, I would consider him kind of an OG creator, though he would not consider himself that. He's been making content for like 4 or 5 years now. Started off as like a modder guy for different games, Minecraft and Fallout and stuff. But he has, over the past few years, moved into more of the commentary space on the internet. So he does deep dives into current events, kind of the pop culture things that we all know and love. He's done a bunch of videos recently on the Mr. Beast controversies that have been popping up, and also more evergreen things like some CIA deep dives, stuff like that. That's his main channel. And then I work on his second channel, which we call the slop content. It's just kind of the daily output of funny reacts or things that don't necessarily warrant a full 30, 40-minute long video on his main channel. So that's Oompaville. He's a very funny guy, very fun, really love him. So I'm glad to be a part of his team.
I've always found him very interesting, and his candy is actually pretty good. So
Candy is delicious. I do also do a little bit of work for Sour Boys. Go to sour.gg. I'll show for him.
Now, you could probably use just a little more sour, in my opinion, but I love sour, so that's me.
They're good.
We already have a super chat. Thank you, Tattoo Samo, or Tatsu Samo Sama. I can talk, really. All the tentacles, they get in the way. Whatever. First time super chatter, please be gentle. Is that gentle enough?
A little too gentle.
I feel very gentle.
Okay. Sorry, it's been a little bit, so I'm a little rusty in terms of hosting. Give me a break. Mo, do you have any questions?
Yes. What do you do? What channel? What everything? I am an uncool dad. So
You just said that.
I know. I know. He just said that. But so I guess my question is what got you into editing? That's a
good question. So you mentioned in the pre-show, you said you're a graphic designer, and I am actually also a professionally trained graphic designer. Have been doing that for many, many years. And I think in collaboration with being a graphic designer, you also kind of lean into doing other forms of creative work, whether that's illustration that's more traditional, or editing, or music. I find like lots of graphic designers want to use their skills for like side hobbies. And so I enjoyed YouTube and making content. So I kind of started teaching myself how to edit and stuff alongside being a graphic designer. So I've been doing it for almost as long as I've been professionally designing. I've also been editing.
Nice.
Yeah, and I can understand that. That's kind of my route. These are all my memes behind me, by the way. I designed like a backdrop because I have to stream out of my garage. So I'm not in it for fame, believe me. I'm in it because it's fun, which is why, by the way, I think you would agree that's where everybody needs to center their mind, do it for fun.
Yes.
Because otherwise,
Yeah.
what are you doing? You know,
Absolutely. The reason I got into graphic design was because when I was younger, I just kind of noticed people around me as they got older, they were less creative, and I would consider people who are less creative to typically be less happy. Like you don't have the creative solutions or the creative thought process a lot of the time. And I didn't want to lose that. So I was like, I'm going to go into a career field where I can be making stuff and having fun. And whether I'm doing that and getting paid professionally, or whether I'm doing it on the side, at least I've got that thing, that kind of foundation of having fun.
Nice.
I have a question. How do you feel about interdimensional beings that are creative as well? Like, is that like take it to a whole other level? Because I feel like it does.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't had any personal experience with interdimensional beings, so I
can't
don't
say that
know.
anymore now.
I can't say that anymore. But you know, first impressions are everything. So,
How about you, Iron? Do you have any questions? Because I actually have a few, but want to give you guys a chance first.
Well, actually, he kind of stole mine. How'd you get into editing? That's always good.
yeah.
Well, my questions actually come from a slightly different perspective. Everybody else here is an editor. I'm more of a content creator, and while I've been doing my own editing, I've always been curious about in the event you actually hire an editor. I'm curious about the communication. Like when Oompa does a video or something and you're working on that, what does he communicate to you in terms of what he would like to see, or how much creative reign are you given on that?
Yeah, okay, that's a great question. So prior to working for Oompaville, he's I work for him. I'm a salaried editor on his team. Prior to doing that, I did some freelance editing for other creators, kind of in the similar like sub count and stuff. And the thing with Oompaville is he has a lot of trust in his team. We do a lot of meetings and a lot of, we're actually working towards creating kind of like some standard practices across all of the channels. But overall, he has a lot of faith in the people he brings on. And so I have almost complete control over the edits on the second channel with very little input, aside from editing notes that he makes within his recording. So he'll maybe say, you know, oh, I just said that, but like cut it out, or, oh, add this little funny edit that I thought of, or something like that. But for the most part, he's like super hands off, which I can't say is the same for some of the other freelance clients I worked with. They can be very nitpicky and very like, you know, at minute 5, 32 seconds in frame 12, I
Oh my
noticed this
God.
flicker, like,
Okay.
please fix it or update. So
Wow.
I don't have to
Okay.
deal with that as much anymore, which is nice.
Yeah, I imagine it's honestly one of my biggest things when trying to or looking at hiring outside help. I don't want to be that person who's telling you what frame 12, but at the same time, I want to make sure that what I would like is communicated fully. You know, Mo's had to deal with me a couple times.
Yes, and she is wonderful. For somebody that has her tentacles in many different projects, she is amazingly sweet and nice. So you would think with all that power it would corrupt her, but so far not so much. So.
I'm not human. That's the difference.
Oh, but, yes, this is true. But yes,
None of the human flaws that would typically come with us
I'm just
pathetic beings.
genuinely perfect. So, you know, it's how it works.
She's an escaped Chuflu that has not destroyed the universe. I mean, what more can you want? Anything short of that is just amazing. So
Right? I mean, the fact that you're all still alive and haven't been
Yes.
driven mad merely by my visage. Where's my thank yous?
You're a kind and benevolent Lovecraftian creature. Thank you.
I
Thank
try.
you. There you go.
So when you go into that, so he just kind of gives you the video with his small notes, and then you get to creatively decide from there what you do?
Yeah, and like the second channel is a little different than the main channel. The second channel has like almost no structure aside from this is the idea. It could be something like, you know, reacting to TikToks or Instagram Reels, or it could be something, you know, reacting to a little bit more of like a current event that just doesn't fit on the main channel with a little bit more of an outline.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, for the most part on the second channel, it's like a free for all. Just like whatever you want to do it. And as long as the video is up when we need it up, then he's pretty happy. So
that's awesome. Those are like literally better than money. Sometimes getting people like that will let you kind of stretch your arms when they know you'll stay on brand. Like, because that's the other thing. You got to keep people in the container.
Yeah, absolutely.
But if
I think, well, I was just going to say, I think for anybody who's like getting into editing, the biggest thing would be make sure that whoever you're editing for, you have some understanding of their content. Watch 3, 5, 10, or their entire catalog of videos to understand what is their pacing, what is their cadence and their voice. What are you able to like actually pull from that person so that you're not inserting yourself too much into the edits. You're actually staying true to that creator, because you know creators are going to bring in 2, 3, 4. I think there's like 7 editors that Oompaville has. So it's you need to make sure that it actually feels like you're watching Oompaville and not like you're watching, you know, me. But at the same time, because of who Oompa is, he's allowing, you know, me to throw in my voice here and there. I can sprinkle in my sense of humor as well without completely corrupting the video.
I imagine making sure you jive well, I guess, with the creator you're working with is very important. For the record, also, I do have to say, no, I am not particularly attracted to Mahler. I'm more into dark meat.
Holy wow!
Hold on.
Obviously.
And I have no mouth because I'm a Cthulhu. I'm a Cthulhu-corn. Look at me. Why would I have a mouth? You're not actually hearing me. I'm just infiltrating your brains. I'm not even going over the internet.
Oh, that's creepy. That actually did like really make the hairs on my. I don't like that. All right. So before you drive me completely mad, I see I gotta. This is mainly on a graphic designer level. That's the best part about being a graphic designer and an editor. You are the mouthpiece for your client. You want to like kind of pepper it in there because you're also kind of their PR in a way visually. Mm-hmm. You know, so like, is that much of a challenge at this point, or do you kind of miss the 1099 lifestyle, or do you like being salary? Because I've always loved being a freelancer. It just drives me nuts being salary. But anyways, you know, this is just from one designer to another and one freelancer. I want to know. Give us the dirty details. I want to know.
Yeah, well, it's interesting. I was a corporate salaried designer prior to working with Oompa. And I really liked the structured, 9 to 5, show up to the office, kind of do what the boss says, and clock out. And being salaried for, his name's Caleb. I like to refer to him as Caleb. Everybody else knows him as Oompaville, but I'll interchange it. Working with Caleb is really nice because I have the security of my salary, but it's very freelance mindset of like, I have to wake up. I can, if I'm half an hour late to have my coffee or because I was hanging out with my kids or whatever, I don't have somebody breathing down my neck. As long as I know I can get the work done, then it's done. I don't have to worry too much about like super structured stuff. There's meetings and stuff that we have, obviously, and you got to show up for those. But for the most part, like the other guy that edits on the second channel, he kind of does a rough cut before I go in and finalize before upload. He goes to bed at 7 a.m. and wakes up at like 4 p.m. and he just edits like overnight because that's what works for him.
Awesome. That's
sounds horrible.
Well,
good on him.
It sounds fantastic to me because I'm one of those people. My videos don't even. I finish recording and editing my own video at about 3 a.m, upload it, and go to bed. That's what I do because I'm just a nighttime person. So, and that's after getting up and working my day job because I don't make that much money.
You're an interdimensional being. You can get all the jobs. You can take over all the jobs, can't you?
Yeah, but then what would you guys do?
That's true.
See,
Right.
I've got to think about I got to think about humanity occasionally. It's not just all about me.
You're more just love instead of Lovecraft. You're Lovecraft without the craft. So
Craft is an important thing because you see, I actually no, I'm not going to make that joke. I don't want my human boyfriend over
you
there.
already made the dark meat joke. It's
he
wide
likes
open at this point. Yeah. Please
You
don't
already
act all like don't act all nice now. All right, you're a multidimensional being. All right.
Well, no, it's about the thing about Lovecraft. It's about making love. So you got to create the love to see the love. That's the way it goes.
What the fuck that mean?
Shut up. If you were,
Tell me what know what the fuck that means. Hold on.
Yay, domestic disputes. This is getting real spicy. Woo.
Well, in their household, they call that foreplay. So
yes.
Yeah,
You're not wrong.
So, my next question is, keyboard shortcuts, or are you a sadist?
That's a good question.
I'm somewhere in between. I use a ton of keyboard shortcuts. The amount of years I've probably saved in my life using keyboard shortcuts is awesome. There's definitely a few things where it's just not worth the lemon's not worth the squeeze. Is that the saying to learn the shortcuts all the time? So I use them a lot, but for the most part, it's kind of what would you call it? The noob shortcuts that I like to use because those ones save you a lot of time.
Yeah, a keyboard shortcut has to save me 3 clicks before I'll use it.
Yeah.
I'm with that. Yeah, if I'm trimming a video, unless I hit S or something like that. If I'm splitting a video or something like that, but sometimes just the mouse is easier.
Yeah.
So, oh wow. So
what's your preferred program? How about that?
I'm an Adobe slut.
I know the feeling. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've thought about transitioning to. I haven't thought about DaVinci for editing, but I was looking. What is the name of it now? I won't even.
Can I say we talked about preferred programs and transitioning? Where the hell is this video going? I don't like the trajectory right now. Anyways, go ahead. Continue.
He's just upset because he wants to be a woman. Go ahead.
I'm beautiful.
You are beautiful. You've got a very nice beard. I like it.
Yeah.
Full. Thank you. Very good. Very good.
Well, your mustache is pretty on point.
Thank
as
you.
You can tell this is where it doesn't fill in very well.
Now,
I have a comb over for my face.
For working.
Should we leave you fellas alone for a minute? I'm sorry.
Let's go backstage.
Yeah, we're gonna have to darken and mute the screen for the stream.
Look, there's just some things I'm not willing to be a party to. So.
Wow, we offended a Choothlu. Let's go.
I'm all
sorry.
for
How do you say it?
I'm love. I just don't want to be Cthulhu.
Cthulhu. Sorry, I see the CH. I'm a simple man. I see letters. I pronounce them.
Well, you see, you've got the letters mixed up because it's CTH.
Oh. I'm from the Midwest.
Surprised you can read. Let's go ahead. So go ahead, program. What were you thinking about transitioning to?
I can't even remember the name of it.
I've seen Affinity mentioned a couple times.
That's what it is. Affinity. The Affinity design suite is very compelling because it's a one-time payment, similar to what Adobe used to be.
Right.
But at the same time, it's also a tax write-off. I pay it every month, but everything works. It's a tax write-off at the end of the year for me. And it's so seamless to do, you know, a Premiere edit into a Photoshop file, into an After Effects file. I can just do it all. And I also I work for Caleb, but I also still do some freelance design work. And so that being industry standard for the other design work that I do just makes it so much easier to swap files and share stuff if I'm working with another company or whatnot.
Yeah, it makes sense to me. And my big thing is I have the Adobe stock as well. So I have all those assets through Adobe, and it's like, I think I get to keep them, but do I really want to play with that? Because then I have to rebuild the whole thing. And it's not like I even have that many yet. So imagining someone who's been editing for much longer than I have and all the assets they probably have and storing them and all that kind of stuff. Oh my God. That would be an amazing headache.
Well, you know what though? There's a lot of good free assets, and there's really good. And I would love to know if you've heard of her, because I follow her on YouTube. I think she's awesome. Premiere Gal. She is amazing. She actually makes plugins and stuff like that, but she tells you how to do like keyframing and stuff like that. So does No Green Rocks, by the way. He's an awesome dude. He'll do tutorials for free online, which is why I love being part of the Legion. Is it's all about trying to spread the design gospel to those who might think that don't have everybody's capable of it. You'd be surprised once you get into it. But so this is what I love about talking about design with people, because we're all just people that just never wanted to grow up. I think you would agree. Yes. Judging by the table behind you, I would say that is probably
I like stickers.
Because I kind of, when I used Mario Paint in the 90s, I was like, okay, I don't ever want to grow up ever. Like, when was it? When was the age when you're like, this is it, this is my final form?
That's a really good question. So my parents had a rule when I was younger. I was allowed to use the computer and be online and have my own laptop and stuff, but I needed to spend about 50% of my time learning something while I was on the computer. And so the early years of YouTube really helped solidify my own personal curiosity loop of like, I'm going to figure something out that I'm interested in, find out how to do it, and then go and actually practice it. And so I actually didn't start with design right away. I started coding websites and learning HTML and PHP coding from YouTube.
I can't do that anymore.
Yeah, it was super cool and fun. And there's one thing I remember, it was so funny. I found like a free web bar online or something like that. You could like add it to your website and it would have like a bar above the top or the bottom or what, I don't know. It was something stupid. And there was like a little copyright watermark on it. And I was like, this is dumb. And I don't like the copyright watermark. I'm going to see if I can remove that in the code. And I did it. I like ran over to my parents. I was like, I removed the watermark off of this free asset that some other poor sap spent days probably coding. And that was my first road into learning stuff I was interested in. And then doing, graphic design kind of branched off of that, because I started making websites. I was like, well, the website needs a logo and it needs the buttons to look good. So I'll start doing that. And then I realized coding is just a way for God to punish us on earth. And
yes,
I don't want to do that anymore.
That's when I realized I did not want to be. When I was in college and I was doing C++ and Java, and I'm like, no. I could do it, but I'm like, I'm going to be in a windowless room with a bunch of other smelly people, and I can't do this. I got to do something artistic. So But I think people start out in the computer, like at least some of your programmers, certainly a lot of your editors start out in a way more technical area, and then they move. I'm glad there's other people that have realized that is not the way to go.
Hey,
which way Western
man? It takes all types to make the world go round. Like we need people who are able to do that. I was not one of those people. I was going to. I wouldn't be here today.
I don't know if anybody else has any questions. I apologize. I'm geeking out because I'm talking to another designer. But I will withhold my next question. I didn't know if Iron had a question. I've been talking over him. I apologize, sir.
Oh no, since I'm more of a novice and a hobbyist, I have no training whatsoever. I've actually learned most of what I've learned have been from those free videos you were mentioning that Green Rocks puts up. So,
awesome.
So no, I'm getting to hear, kind of how the sausage is made. So I'm for it. Geek out,
he
fellas.
helped me
Go for it.
considerably when it came to learning how to start editing my own videos. I still suck, but at least you don't have massive pauses between when I'm thinking and not. That's great.
Yep. As Phil Jackson said, the journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. So you got to start somewhere. But here's the real question, and this usually gets people in trouble, and I'm here for it. I'm here to throw our guests under the bus. Artificial intelligence, which is really bad. AI art. Do you embrace it, or do you abhor it,
or are you somewhere in between?
Or somewhere in between? Yes. Sorry, the Cthulhu has got me in a either or spirit right now. So
that's fair. I am of the opinion that AI is a tool in a creative's tool belt and needs to be used ethically, but also it needs to be used. If you are a creative in 2024 and you are not embracing artificial intelligence in some way, you will be left behind. And people, I made a really controversial statement on Twitter.
No.
I know, it's shocking that Twitter would have a controversial statement, especially me making it. But I said the only people who are really, truly upset about artificial intelligence are the furry artists who can't charge $15 for their furry art anymore.
Oh, no.
Because most people who are professionally creating or being creative, they can understand at least the need for AI in some capacity in their job. I mean, Photoshop has been using AI with content aware fill for a decade, and nobody had a problem with it. It's just now that it can, put a hamburger on a plate when you tell it to, everybody's freaking out. So
see, I love it because I can Greek anything in like 10 seconds. I can take the logos off of anything. Like it doesn't really do much to add. It's really like Midjourney is probably my favorite AI service. Like it's really good. Like it's well trained. The Firefly is shit. That's Adobe's.
Yeah.
It's not good. Yeah. It's not good, but it is very good about removing things.
Yes.
If you really want some nightmare fuel, ask it to remove a head or an appendage, and it will give you the creepiest shit you've ever. Like it'll make horror. It'll make our Cthulhu friend over here cringe. It's like really awful. Like that's the best part about AI is the mess ups. I love it.
True.
They're really creepy, but that's awesome. Good, because that's my whole thing. Because back in the day, they're like acrylic paint. What is this? What, it dries immediately? Who wants that?
Yeah.
You got to think like. Oh, you're using chalk instead of blood to write on the cave walls? What are you? A caveman?
You're not
that's right. We are
5
cavemen.
hours carving a letter in? What?
Yeah.
What is madness?
Yeah. I think like moving along with technology, and I mean AI is scary. It's kind of crazy. I watch so many videos like shorts or whatever, and like AI is taking over and it's trying to replace like genuine human creativity and connection. It, in my opinion, it will never do it as well as other people do. But there's also some shit that I watch online and it's just like, this is not real human beings didn't make this. But I can't see any of the classic AI faults, like the weird limbs,
Uncanny Valley.
The weird stuff. There's none of that. Yeah. Like some of these videos look pretty real, and maybe they are. I don't know. Maybe AI has surpassed what our expectations are, and it's been learning longer than we think it has.
The upscaling needs to get better, by the way. It looks like packaged bologna when like people skin. It's really creepy. Like, yeah. Anyways, go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, I think it'll get to the point where it can fool the eye, but it'll never really fool the brain. You'll look at it and you'll be able to see, or and your brain will say on one hand, that could be real. And then another part of your brain's going to be, but it's probably not, and so it's going to cause a lot of confusion, but it's definitely a tool people should use as opposed to freaking out. But yeah, like you were saying, people have freaked out about new tools forever. I mean, how long ago was it that people thought the internet was going to be the end of the world?
Yeah.
Were they wrong,
it
though?
Might be, but
yeah, I was going to say, I was like, the jury's still out on that one.
We're not there yet. No, humans will end yourselves. The internet's just a tool to help you.
Can we all ask, I think Andy and Iron, can we ask our Kung Fu friend, if it gets to that point, can you please invade the universe? Like, can you save us from ourselves and just give us a sweet, sweet release?
I only
Is that
have so
okay?
much power. There's only.
I don't
so
mean
much
to speak for the other people on the panel, but no, seriously, you have to.
No,
All
there's seriously only so much I can do. That I am not all knowing and all powerful. There's a limit, and you guys screwing yourself over. That's on you.
You got to be like Christopher Reeves from Quest for Peace. You got to take over. All right, take over. Help us. We are
The
falling.
last thing anybody wants is me in charge, because I'm just going to let you fuck yourselves over at that point.
At least it'll be fun. At least we'll be. At least it won't be a human in charge. It'll be a Lovecraftian interdimensional.
Oh,
being.
you just want someone else to blame other than humanity. I see.
Oh yeah. We
right.
need that alien, and you're
Yeah,
That should be the campaign slogan. Actually, at least it's not a human.
I am old enough to run.
Well, yeah, many times over in many different dimensions. Yeah,
I know,
totally.
right?
I agree.
They
Yeah,
can't keep me. They can't say I'm too old.
And
right?
then, and in certain dimensions, not old enough because they haven't bubbled out of the strings yet.
Right.
Anyway, I don't know. I'm going too deep here.
Yeah,
with
you're going a little
Lovecraft,
weird.
but- So I'm picking up things from your accent. Are you of the United States, or do you live in the hat?
I do live in the hat. I do live in the
Oh,
hat.
okay. I thought her.
Yeah, boot got you.
I'm actually surprised that you picked it up. I've been told many times that I don't sound Canadian. But I don't know. Maybe it's the Midwest. I think the Midwest is more easily able to pick up the Canadian accent.
You said a boot, and honestly, if you're American for the most part, a boot will always sound odd, and that is what gave you away.
Okay.
No, because and you know this because I know I'm not going to divulge where anybody's from, but because I kind of know, but when you get like up to when you get in like to the upper peninsula or like northern Minnesota, it really starts to blur. I grew up 4 hours from Windsor, Canada, so you could always tell when somebody came over the border. So plus you're really nice, which you're not salty. You smile way too much for a man that has children. So
like I said, they're still young. I haven't had all of the life sucked out of me just yet. So
He's still got a little time to go.
Yeah, they're still in the fun age where they don't bother me too much.
Yet. No, that's the fun part. Yet.
Yep. So yeah, that's awesome. So I have caught hell for this, and this is on the Canadian side. I know I'm getting weird about this, but I love I've had Canadian friends that have lived in Toronto and the surrounding area.
Plus, he's weird.
Don't know. Yes, ketchup potato chips I think are awesome. All dressed potato chips I think are the best thing that's ever been made.
Yeah, all dressed.
Poutine.
Really
yes. Okay. Thank you. People say ketchup potato chips are gross. They're like barbecue potato chips, but worse. And I'm like, no, you are incorrect.
I do personally prefer barbecue over ketchup chips. I also I do like all dressed. All dressed are like such a staple of like a barbecue here. Yeah, they're so good. And poutine is really good too. I'm happy we made poutine.
Yes, poutine is my favorite. That's one thing we got the freedom of America and the food of Canada living in northern Indiana. So it was like and we love hockey. So yeah. Are you a man who loves hockey?
Oh, I was big. So I'm a huge Edmonton Oilers fan. So the fact that we made it to Game 7 for the Stanley Cup Final was, I was very, very happy. Also, I saw somebody in the chat said easy on the Canucks. I don't know if you're talking about the Vancouver Canucks, but if you are, you guys got spit roasted by the Oilers.
No, I think they're talking about you dirty hat livers.
He was just saying be nice to the Canadian.
Okay, well, other Canadian, you guys are okay unless you are from Vancouver then.
I live in Montana, so I got all the Albertans up there. So that's a fun thing. So another question that I have as a creator, and you said doing the freelance, when people contact you, how did you decide if you were willing to work for them or not?
A lot of the times it just depends on my availability. Like, do I even have time to take on another job or not? And also just like, I think it's important as a creative, once you're established, once you don't need to take every job that comes your way, it's important to be like, do I feel like I'm going to do this job justice? Whether it's editing or graphic design or whatever. I personally, I like making money, but I don't want to take money from somebody if I'm not like interested in the job, or I don't think that I'm going to be able to do what this person wants me to do. So that's like kind of my standard. I think if you are like a new creative and you're just getting into it, or you're somebody who's just getting into freelance, it's more important then to just get jobs under your belt.
Right.
So you can actually learn, do I enjoy doing this, or do I hate it, or am I undervaluing myself? Because a lot of the times you kind of do similar jobs and you charge the same amount. But when you are a freelancer, you need to be like, there are some jobs that I've like quoted way higher because I don't want to do them, and the person still, accepts it. It's like, okay, well, I'm making significantly more money doing something I don't necessarily want to do, but I priced it appropriately as opposed to giving them, my standard hourly rate or whatever.
Right. People, contractors do that a lot in any form of work.
Yeah.
So always make sure to price what you feel like your time is worth, is I think something people miss often.
Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes just putting some good out into the universe to offset our Lovecraftian being here is a good thing too. I love doing like I don't think I could ever not be a freelancer. I always got to have something weird in the hopper. I know you do a lot of because what little amount of research I've been able to do. Sorry guys,
the last 5 minutes. Yeah.
Yes. It looks like you do a lot of good work, but it's still like you just never ever want to be, even if it's a good rut, you never want to be in it. You want to like at least kind of like have something fun, like something weird, something outside of your wheelhouse, because there's always something else out there. So what are, like with me, it's mainly like logo work or something for like smaller businesses, like, or they're like literally pay you in what they sell at the store, do you still actively search that out, or are you pretty content with where you're at, or do you I always want to know if like other creators who have a secure job, like you almost feel bad that you're secure. It's weird. Like, because you draw things, you make things for a living. It's almost you like wake up every day and you just, I can't believe I get paid for this. Yeah, that's my favorite part about it. It's so silly. But so like, what are certain like wants and needs you have outside of what you do for Oompaville? I know that's a deep question. I don't think it'll get you in trouble, but I always wonder that, because I feel like people are of that same mindset that are in that deep, that do that for a living. Yeah, I think like so. I really love what I do when I wake up, and like being able to edit and stuff. I truly can't believe that I get to do this for my job every day. That's awesome. But I do try to have those other fun things that I do on the side. So I do like personal illustrations, and like my desk here is just a bunch of stickers. And so like I make like my own like little stickers. I print them off and give them to people and stuff. So I do those kind of when I have time. It's like I see something that I like or whatever, I want to illustrate it, I throw it together, make some stickers. That's kind of like my relax thing. But I have so many irons in the fire. My wife's always like, when I tell her I've got another thing to do, she's like, why? Why do you do more?
At least she cares about you. That's the important thing.
It's true. And I give her time in the evenings. We get to watch an episode of Netflix, and then I go back to my cave and do something different.
Oh God! So she gets you,
get 30 minutes a week.
Exactly. You always leave them wanting, is what I hear is how that's supposed to work.
Absolutely.
Or something. I don't know. We spend all the time together here, so it works for us. I don't know why.
My quiver's empty. I'm almost been married for 20 years, so I've tried. I've done all I could. So, does she call you a hoser ever, or is she like
no?
She a city girl? Yeah.
No, she's too nice to do that to me.
Oh, that's
to
not,
you.
Oh, how you must not have been married that long.
We've been married. What is it? 8 years.
Oh, congratulations!
Something like that.
That's
yeah.
Awesome.
Nice.
Thank you.
Okay, I really hate that let's talk about one of these interesting topics that Rox has put up in here. So let me get one of those up, actually.
Hopefully he put it in there before he took the painkillers.
I think he did, yeah.
Okay, good.
I think
or not. I'm okay with either one.
But things might get a little more interesting that way.
Well, this one looks like it was probably pre-painkiller anyway, so I think we should be safe. I just have to remember how to share screens, because as I said, it's been here a while. Why are you showing? Don't show that to me.
By the way, I got a taste of Iron Oxide After Dark a few days ago. I kind of like you were on a stream I don't. I
Oh,
can't
are
remember
you
what
talking
it's
about with me and Mr.
Burger.
Burger?
Yeah, dude. I was just like,
Yeah.
wow, he really kind of hangs out in the alley sometimes. Not in a bad way. It was just like, yeah, you're a man. Yeah, you're an interdimensional being yourself, sir. You're just hiding it better than a horror. So go
Okay,
ahead.
that's a little weird.
Yeah, I know, but it's true.
So apparently, Tom Cruise is looking to perform a stunt at the end of the Paris Olympics. He will rappel down from the top of the Stade de France, carry the Olympic flag to LA, and skydive down into the Hollywood sign. He's already done and recorded the skydive portion. That's interesting. What do we think about that? Does anybody care about the Olympics?
I think, well, I care about the fact that we're taking it out of France, and the fact that we're doing so with Tom Cruise is a good way to end it, because it's awful. Isaac, you be quiet. He okay, that's part of the people that is in the fellowship. He's one of those people, like Horror Amarada is a very nice, she holds in her power. Isaac doesn't. Isaac is a chaotic evil, or a chaotic good, I would say. If we're talking about D&D, he's a chaotic good. He's good, but he causes problems. So anyways, love you, Isaac. He's one of the better memers out there in the fellowship. So really, honestly, you need to check him out on Twitter. I gotta bring it back around to the memes. That's what we're all about. We're all about having fun.
It's all about the memes.
And letting people know
the memes. Where are the memes? Come on, guys.
Yeah, you're gonna regret that asking Isaac. He toes the line, but like he's like on the front of the surfboard. I don't know how he doesn't fall over. Yeah, Isaac memes cut deep. Thank you, ABF. He really is just yeah. But so what would you? Here's what I would ask. Like, what would you say, Andy, to people that are afraid to get into? Because you've heard some pensive, people that aren't into it. I don't think it's as hard as people think, especially with the tools nowadays. But I think you seem like a person that would lift other people up. You're a rising tide kind of person to me.
I'd like to think that that I help other people come up. I think like anybody who wants to get into editing, you need to like really anything creative. You need to like immerse yourself in the thing you want to be a part of before you can actually like start creating or being a part of the creative process of that thing you enjoy. So like I love watching movies and my wife hates it, but I like trying to guess what are the like plot twists going to be, or like what is this character's significance going to be. And I think that's really helped me in my own personal process of editing to like try to tell a story or try to understand the pacing or try to understand, what is the emotion behind what I'm trying to do. I'm not a genius that's going to create like Hollywood movies by any means. I make C-tier memes to throw in between Reddit reactions for Oompaville's YouTube channel. But it is like very fun to do that, and to you're always like sharpening your axe when you're watching other content or when you're immersing yourself in other YouTubers, their editors' styles or whatever that might be. And so just doing that, being a part of that community of just like watching something and trying to figure out how do they do this? Like what effects are they using? Are they using a lens distortion, or are they, using something different? Are they using a different effect to achieve that?
Are they zooming in using keyframes?
Yeah, exactly. Or like one thing, I didn't even do this before I was working with Caleb, but the transform tool or the transform effect to like zoom in and zoom out, as opposed to just zooming in or zooming out, you're going to be able to achieve like a motion blur just because you use the transform effect as opposed to not using it. So like it's little things. It's like, oh, well now everything I edit just looks a little bit better because you learn from other people or from other processes.
Well, you see, now I've learned something because I did a zoom in the other day, my first one. Congratulations me. But I did it with the keyframes and zooming in. If I had known the transform thing, that probably would have been a much nicer zoom in. So
use the transform tool and then just change your what is it? There's a thing you got to change to get the right blur, but
Right.
You'll figure it out.
I'm sure I
Everybody will figure
will.
it out.
I'm smart enough. I have a college degree and all that fun stuff. So sure,
There you go.
I'm sure I'll figure it out.
I'm a dropout, so if
Yeah,
I
you gotta
figured it out,
you have to
you're done.
overcome that to get smart. Actually,
Right. Yeah.
that degree will hold you back. Yes.
It really hasn't helped. I actually know, thanks to my college degree, is the reason why I know Adobe as well as I do, because that's what they had us study in. So, I actually have a degree in web design and graphic design, despite not being a graphic designer.
There you go.
So I saw earlier in the chat, and I got to kind of put on the no green rocks hat because you got to address the people that are kind of overthinking things. And oh, can you guys hear me? My interwebs. The garage of solitude is breaking down. Can you guys hear me? Sorry.
Yeah, you're breaking up. Hold
All
on. Give yourself a second. You might come back here in a
Okay.
moment.
Hello.
Think you're okay. I think.
Okay.
I think you've reconnected successfully.
Okay. Let me turn down my upload speed here. So somebody's saying that they were going to get a Galaxy Tab Pro to
draw.
try to learn how to draw. No.
Yeah.
Get a piece of paper. Get a legal pad and a pencil. Like
True.
go to the roots of art and do that. That's how I learned. Like,
Yeah.
and when you have nothing between you and the medium, that's where the art comes from. Then you build on that. Don't get something like that. Just keep it simple. Like, cause that's where the fun is. Like if you, like when everything is shut off, there's like, say the power's out or something like that, you get a candlelight and you draw. And that was my favorite thing to do growing up. Keep it simple. And that's where let that wellspring of art come from there, and you'll get better across the board in artistic endeavors. Like do that. Like
And
just
see, I'm
go to
actually
the
gonna
dollar
offer a
store
little
and you'll have
pushback.
better experience.
I'm going to offer you a little pushback there. If someone wants to start in a digital manner and that's where they're willing to start and it seems like the most accessible to them, I think it's a great place for them to start. Because a lot of times you'll start there, but then you'll realize you're missing something in terms of what you're doing. And then you'll work backwards and go back to the pen and paper and then improve yourself from there. Because honestly, that's how I start a lot of things is I'll do them the more technological way. And then it's like, while I'm doing it, I'm like, well, I wonder what the underside of this is. And I'll go back and learn that. That's part of why I've started doing things like canning my own food and stuff, because it's like, sure, I can make a great sauce, but how do I make sure that I have my own great sauce later?
Yeah, I've always kind of done that too. I tend to try to jump ahead to the ending. Like all this other stuff I got to learn first. I'll just go right into about middle toward the end of learn all those past steps as I go. So I'm kind of guilty of that myself.
But there's no right way. Let's just
Right.
put it out on the table here. Put it out on the sticker cover table that Andy has in the background. Let's I love that table, by the way. I love stickers too.
Oh, thank you.
But that's really awesome. But it's whatever you can get into, but I love the visceral, like hearing the pencil, like just and you just know you're never gonna write. It's just I don't know. I like it. I like growing tomatoes. I like it just taking it down to its simplest level. I think there's something to that. I think if you enjoyed it that level, everything else is just icing on the cake. It makes it that much better. So that's what I would say. I think give it a try, because you know what? You're only going to be out of if you go to the dollar store, like $2.50 if you get like a drawing pad and a pencil. Give it a try.
Yeah. Well, is it still $1.25 at the dollar store now, or did they go up to $1.50?
I think it's about
I
$10,
just went there today.
$15, to be honest.
Yes.
$15.
Dollar store is still goated, by the way. It's so much fun. I'm like in my 40s and my son is like 11, and I'm like, it's still like, because there's nothing you don't have to worry. You're not tethered to anything. You're not like, man, I should return this. Should I bought this? No, it's like $1.25. Who cares? Yeah, it's like
I can go in my junk pile in the corner of the kitchen and I'll clear it out in 7 years.
Yeah. You're like, I forgot about this roly poly thing that sticks on the wall and roll. It's this covered in filth. But yeah, no, analog is GOAT because you don't feel beholden to this giant purchase you just made. If you get a Galaxy Tab, even a cheap one, it's still like $150. With a drawing pad, it's just like it's just nothing but you and the art. That's it. And that's why I recommend that, because you don't want to be like, I need to get better. I need to feel. It's like when you pay for like to learn a different language. it's like you feel like there's pressure there. Art should just flow. Like you should try to get better at it, and then you want to build on it, and then that's my thing. Like keep it simple, and that's what I think that's really the basis of art is if you can enjoy a pen and paper. Like I said, everything else is just so much fun. So, anyways,
I must be weird because I bought a drawing tablet to help myself learn, and now Sheep uses it. Because
Yeah.
I didn't, but he draws way better than I do.
there's nothing wrong with these, by the way. I love these, but
I don't remember which one. Mine actually has the screen in it and everything. So,
Ooh.
it's a really fancy one. But he does a great job with it. So, in the end, the purchase worked out, even if I don't use it. So, but I do find it funny, the things that will get somebody into something. So I guess I don't see any problems in helping someone jump in the middle, because as long as they get started, you never know where they're going to go from that start. And if it takes them backwards into the old way of doing something or forward into new ways of doing something, at least they're learning. Way too many people don't even try to learn.
Full disclosure, I spent all this money on like a microphone and an arm and a preamp, and I certainly don't have the skills. So I am a hypocrite. All right. And I'm okay with that. But I'm just saying, from drawing, I've been doing it I remember falling asleep in my bed when I was a kid drawing. It's visceral to me. It's so much fun when I get to do it every so often. It just brings me right back. So, but yeah, no, there's much like horrors, tentacles in the universe. There's many different ways to get into something. So,
yeah, I don't like to discourage someone from doing something
totally.
they want to do.
Buy the expensive stuff when it becomes a tax write-off for you. That's when you really invest in the expensive stuff.
There it is.
You go for the used stuff if you want to get into the tablets.
There you go.
And that is why I bought my Roadcaster.
Other pro tip: if you're into PC gaming, you can write off a lot of that stuff, because a lot of your graphic design stuff is PC gaming stuff as well. I'm just saying, I need those NVENC encoders. And
just make sure you keep the receipts. That's all. That's
30 gigabytes of RAM for no reason.
I got a 20-minute video with little effects. I could do it on the built-in GPU, but that's no fun. Why can I do that? Why I can write off $1,000 gift
that way, you know.
Or your chairs, your gaming chairs.
Oh my god!
Right off that. Standing desks, if you want a standing desk.
I love my standing desk. You got to get one of those if you're going to edit, because you'll just have blood clots for days, like in your legs. It's the worst. You got to get up and move around. Yes.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Thank you, Isaac.
We all know. So yeah, do everything you can to avoid them. That's the most patriotic, most American thing you can possibly do.
It's true.
Just saying. So, and yet comics taught a lot of people to draw. A lot of people got into drawing because of comics. I think that's really cool. Even if I'm not a big comic writer or reader, I don't write.
So I have a question for everybody that's in to art and stuff like that. Anybody that's into artistic endeavors, who is the artist that really pushed you over the edge? I have a few people that I would consider like I really love their art. And it could be classical. I love going down the classical route because that's one thing I actually gleaned from college that was useful, was art history. But is there anything, because you seem you seem to have a basis for a lot of stuff you do, Andy. Is there anything that you...
He's like,
maybe I'm reading into it too much. Maybe I just want you to give me the table. All right. Maybe
come and check the table out. If you like it and it fits, then we can work a deal out for that.
Then he gets to start a new table.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's why. Yes.
Another board.
Yeah, you should totally just auction it off and then start a new table.
Oh, you totally should. That would be a great idea. Anyways.
I'm trying to think logistically how I'd do that now. It's holding up half of my desk.
Well, you buy the new table first, you slide it under, and then you take that one out.
There we go.
Multi-dimensional wisdom, by the way. Thank you very much.
It's eons worth of mistakes to come to the appropriate conclusions now. Artists that inspired me. I honestly, I don't pay attention to people's names. I just see things that I like and I just pull stuff from it. Like when I'm doing graphic design specifically, I'll look at just libraries of stuff in a similar style or vein that I'm interested in. Okay. So I use Behance or Pinterest or whatever other portfolio site or DeviantArt even sometimes, but I don't look for specific people who I like their style of. And that's just me, mostly because I probably can't remember who I look at half the time. But I enjoy getting multiple influences for individual projects, just because with me, if I'm looking at the same thing for too long or the same style for too long, it just becomes that, or like my version of mimicking it, where I want to have, 3 or 4 pieces of inspiration that are directing something. One guy I do really like in particular, like specifically for logo design, is Draplin. I'm sure you know him. He's really cool. He's awesome. He's got some cool tutorials and stuff as well.
It's awesome. Frazetta, baby. I love Frazetta. He the guy who did the I love this style too. You would like him too, Andy. He basically would hand in his paintings wet. Like he's like he just did not give a shit. They're like, "Are you going to have it done?" He's like, "Yes, I'll have it done." Are you gonna? It would still be drying, but it was like these awesome covers for Conan the Barbarian, the comics. It was amazing.
That's cool.
The comic books, yeah.
But and he does the best women. I'm just saying he paints the best women. Period.
And God bless his daughter for continuing to share his work. I love her Twitter feed. She is awesome. Plus, she just has no filter, which is equally as awesome. She's just like, she literally is bitching about somebody double parking. And I'm like, this is, I'm like, I love her follower. She just does not give a shit, just like her dad. Yeah. So, but no, mine is, I love Alphonse Mucha. I think he's the progenitor of comic book drawings. He had heavy line quality on the outside with like, and my favorite part of the story about him is they said, you'll never be an artist. It's one of the most prolific, most well-known artists, one of the best artists on the face of the earth. Like, he's really, really good. Jack Kirby, obviously. I love Jamie Hewlett, the guy who does the Gorillas videos and stuff. I love that art style.
Oh, yeah.
Like him and Tank Girl, holy shit, is he amazing. Like, the fact that he can animate that, that's why I love his stationary drawings, because they look like they're moving all the time. Like, there's so many people. It's a lifelong goal. You can never catch all these greats, but I hope I can get close someday. So, anyways,
can we all just agree that CalArt is getting used way too often and needs to just go away for about a decade?
I see. I don't particularly consider it art at this stage, so there's that.
Yeah. It's just bubbles with eyes and an obscenely large mouth. That's every other character design you're seeing over at least the last 10, 15 years, especially in animation. I mean, we're getting a new, Thundercats show. Oh, look.
It's in CalArt.
Oh, I hate that.
Despite the fact the original people who made the original Thundercats were actually progenitors to Studio Ghibli, we're instead going to honor them with this piece of shit.
What, Rankin and Bass was
that.
They went into sorry.
They weren't. It wasn't Rankin and Bass who was specifically part of it, but it was one of the. So not all of Rankin and Bass necessarily became Studio Ghibli, but it was like part of On the Way to. There,
I can believe it.
If that makes sense.
If you've seen the original Hobbit, holy crap!
Oh God, I love
just
the original.
Amazing. You'd be surprised how many people have never seen that are of an age that they absolutely should have seen it, because it was on. Oh, see, I love spurring up on art. It's amazing, because talking about different ways to get there, there's only one thing, there's only one eternal truth that is a negative truth. It is that Andy Warhol is not an artist. Thank you very much. So I do not like Andy Warhol. He ruined art. I just despise him. I can't stand
But the Campbell's soup painting.
Which, by the way, in American courts, about a year or two ago, they literally legal precedent that Andy Warhol is a scam artist. They basically said, no, you can't sell this because it's not derivative enough. Years after he died, they just said, I can't remember the ruling, but they're basically like, yeah, son, that's a Campbell soup can. Like, thank you.
It's not one Campbell soup can, it's 4 Campbell soup cans in various shades of, like RGB.
Pastel vomit, yes.
It's just the world. However, speaking of art and things people share, how about we look at some memes?
Ooh, unless it's ice.
All right.
That time, isn't it?
Pensive applause.
So here we have from Isaac.
Yeah.
The Wolverine gay variant. If you don't know who Dan Vask is, Andy, this is Dan Vask. He is our the the what would you say, the Geeks and Gamers / Fellowship honorary
Homosexual.
Resident
well, that
homosexual.
too. But I
Yes.
was actually saying Brazilian,
Okay.
which I guess might be the
Tomato,
same
tomato,
thing. I don't
yes.
know, but he's famous for his man bun and his absolutely killer metal covers
Oh, my
and
goodness.
original songs.
Oh, right on.
So he's a cool dude. Then we also have oh, this is nice.
Oh, what do we have here?
This is fantastic, guys. Hold on, let me make sure we have Phantom X. This is Phantom X, and this is obviously Mo on the weekend with a donut.
That's
Hey.
awesome.
I love I love how the donut matches the wall behind him.
Well,
The use of color in this is fantastic. This is art, my friends.
High end.
so this is
He's
how it's
got
going to be.
Andy
All right.
Warhol beat. Isaac again. Clint Eastwood and Dirty Harry.
Dirty and hairy.
Harry.
Uh,
Very nice. Very
I hope
nice.
you get treated better by your fans, Andy, because I have not. I am not
That's funny.
cultivating the best here.
No, I actually, it's quite funny. I've somehow managed on I call it my second channel. I've somehow managed to upload 4 back-to-back videos with the worst takes possible. My last video has like a 9% like to dislike ratio.
Nice. There's something about that. That's like
It's I've managed to upset everybody. I try to be fairly like nuanced and pretty like I don't have all the information, so I'm just going to talk about what I want to talk about for the
That
most
pisses
part.
people off, yeah.
It pisses people off because like if you don't agree with the wave that you're supposed to, you're the worst
Mhm.
person ever. So
Oh yeah. Yeah. You can't dare be, I don't know, logical, thoughtful.
yeah, or just like open to, hey, this is how I feel. But if you disagree, that's cool. And like maybe there's some truth in what's being shared or said, but overall, I don't care enough.
Right. Oh, that one right there. I don't know the answer. And then everybody's mad at you. And it's like,
Right.
but I literally said I don't know the answer. What do you expect from me?
some of my favorite YouTubers, like my favorite one, he's a law tuber. His name's Nate the Lawyer. He'll like have 100 good takes. Then he'll have one and you're like, what the actual hell? Like, but you love him for it. You're just like, dude, that is such a bad take.
Yeah.
But agreeing with everybody is boring.
It's
As
true.
long as
It's
we can
true.
agree to disagree, like Horror Marana is completely wrong. Get a piece of pencil and paper, and if you don't use that, you're overarching. Never mind my $200 mic here that I bought because I'm just starting out. She's wrong, despite the evidence in front of me. But no, that's what I'm saying. Like it emboldens. It like makes me feel better about the world. The world is healing when people do not agree, but they stick around and they're still
Yes.
friends, and you're still
Mhm.
like
Right.
people that just peace out after one bad take. Holy shit, I'd have no friends and no wife. So it's like
say people
it's okay. It's good to have a bad take or a bad. You know what I mean? Something somebody doesn't
Yeah.
It's
doesn't
good
agree
to
with.
disagree with people. If you can't
Yeah.
disagree with people and remain in a calm, normal frame set where you can actually then discuss the problem, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, those are some of the most fun conversations I have is when we're in a whole collective group not agreeing on a single topic
Mhm,
and
mhm.
just going back and forth. It just keeps things interesting. Also opens you up to different points of view too, and gives you an excuse to call your friends stupid pieces of shit as often as possible. So
And everybody needs it. Also, I'm very rarely to
Yes.
almost never wrong, so just ignore everything Mo just said. Uh,
Do not
between
use your
being an elder being
Lovecraftian
and
spells
woman,
on our.
I am right. So
You don't get to come into Legion of Memers and cast Lovecraftian spells on people. That is incorrect.
here I am
behavior.
doing it anyway. Oh
You're
well.
right. You're right, ma'am. You're right. I apologize.
So I forgot to look at Phantom again. You have Jeremy, the head of Geeks and Gamers. Apparently, he's watching Beardo. I don't know what this is related to. I haven't seen where this has come from.
Don't.
Fortunately.
Okay.
The word
He's
is
literally.
fortunately.
He's literally. I call him because he's part of the GCA. His nickname, especially on Legion of Memers, he's the shit meme king. And that is a term of endearment because he literally
Oh,
spends, as you could tell, about 2 minutes on it, and he throws it out because he
Yeah.
knows what he's doing. He uses GIMP, so he's not like a
Oh,
he's not
wow.
a dirty
Yeah,
yeah. So he's no slouch. He just doesn't put in the effort. He could if he actually tried, it'd look good. But hi, Phantom, how you doing?
And
Love you,
here I
buddy.
thought that was a reference to the fact that his meme involved someone taking a shit.
It usually does, but you know,
Okay.
you
So
write
it's
what
both.
you know.
It's a double,
Yes.
double entendre there. All right. all
Yes,
right.
he writes
I
what he
got
knows,
that.
which is shit. So enough.
And here we are.
Oh,
Gary, I don't think that's how
Oh.
you're supposed to use it, but all things considered, I wouldn't be surprised.
oh no.
I like that.
Well, he
I'm
is
gonna
from
have to show-
California. What's he know about chainsaws?
That would be Phantom yet again. And then I saw DJ McLean say he put some in. Did he put them under a different hashtag, perhaps?
Sometimes you have to refresh. X is still healing.
He's still healing.
Yes.
Did he?
Do we call
Oh,
it healing?
it's at the end.
What's happening on that platform?
Dying spectacularly. Is that better?
A blaze of glory.
Yes. Yes.
Here we go.
And
didn't-
it's
What the hell?
I forgot to share the sound.
oh, we heard it.
Did you? Oh, in
Yeah.
that case, I didn't forget to share the
You
sound.
accidentally hosted properly.
Wow. See, that's the talent right here, is that I do things by accident on the right way. But then I realized I think I got them wrong. That's my talent. This is fantastic.
How'd you make his legs so big, though? I just don't get it.
And then, oh God, this didn't upside. There we go.
That's more accurate. Yeah.
Yeah, that's about right.
Weirdo. Him and those scrawny ass legs.
That's the only solace I take. I get made fun of a lot by the people that watch our other channels. Nobody catches the piss as much as Beardo, though. Like nonstop. The fact that he hasn't done a half gainer off the top of a building, I'm shocked.
I love when he has to read one super chat from Fear the Tardo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those are great.
I can
Here
barely
you
tell
have
the
the
difference.
Paris 2024 Olympics.
Accurate.
Yep.
Feeling more and more like it every day, unfortunately.
Uh,
Here we go.
If pimping ain't right, I'ma stay wrong. I gotta stay pimping because my life is long. If pimping ain't right,
Okay, that was a
he doesn't even get to defend himself. I like that.
no. He's not here to
CJP
defend-
catching strays. Yep.
That's what he gets for not being here. We
what you
can't
get,
do
CJP.
anything about that for him.
CJP stands for can't join properly. Bitch, get in here next time.
And there's Gary trying to defend us from Disney.
Isaac, yeah, that was a good one. I like that one because it wasn't making fun of me.
Yeah. You got to protect Mo's fragile ego.
I am a delicate flower.
We can tell. You see the blush on his cheeks. He's so flustered from all this attention. He's just he can't handle it. It's okay. We'll take care of you. You'll be all right. So we will revisit some more memes, and I would like to see some more before the end of the show. You know, guys, because I'm not here every day or every week or whatever.
You're not visible every day, but you are here every day. You're
Yes,
in our hearts and our minds, and hopefully more of the former and none of the latter. Because I don't need to be driven.
You never know. You never know. No, that's the point. Jay and Beardo's the new Jay for catching strays. No. You
Right.
see, Jay opens the door for them. For those who remember that meme.
Yeah.
It's an older one, but it checks out.
You just put up 2 more.
Of course you did, and they're probably ones you did a year ago. You piece of shit. So, and they're probably about me. So can we move on?
No. we're
Ignore
gonna
this man.
first,
Ignore this
and
man in the
then-
corner.
And then we
let's-
will
let's
move on
see
because
what he's got.
especially if they're about you, I want to see them. So give me the second to find where he put them. And it's not there. There we go. Oh no, it's not about you. You'll love this.
Yay.
The lollipop. That's great.
That's what I love about Phantom X. He's like a street. He's like a bizarre. He like just pulls out all of his wares. Like he just says copy paste blah, 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 into the Twitter feed. Like anything he's made in the last decade, it comes out. So
that's great.
The man has no shame, and I love him for it. Yeah,
I love that. I love the chaos. I am the chaos. Embrace the chaos.
It's just a little disturbing right there.
What? The little mushroom.
The J Goomba. Yeah. I don't know if it's that or Jeremy's face.
I will say I'm happy that he's not looking at the Goomba. So there's that going for us anyway.
I can almost see eyebrows. I think it's a deep fake. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that or he went in and penciled them in just to make Jeremy feel a little better for once. You know. That's
too much work for Phantom, but I'll take it.
Okay. So, Mo, you seem to be fangirling quite a bit. Do you have more questions?
It's where we've been in the same bunker, so to speak, not to disparage any actual veterans, but once you're a 10, well, I don't know what they call it in Canada, but a 1099, we call it a 1099 or a freelancer. We kind of address ourselves as how we fill out our taxes. The 1099 is somebody that lives from paycheck to paycheck. They don't have a steady pay for the most part.
Right. They're just called homeless here. In Canada.
Wow, that's very un-Canadian of you. Right? So, he's probably gonna be saying, I'm sorry. So.
No, I'm not sorry. People who freelance here, the people who freelance in Canada only have American clients because they're the only ones who can actually pay enough to live on a freelance.
Oh, damn. Yeah.
This is true. I've worked with many Canadian people that work at that 1099. Yep, 1099, baby. That's how you cut your teeth. You really gotta hit the ground and work your ass out. You really do have to work. Okay, here's my question. When was the last time somebody said that they would pay you an exposure? Okay, I know that's some PTSD, and I know it's been more recent than it probably should have been. When was the last time somebody offered that to you?
I don't think I've had the exposure offer in a very long time. Oh. What I did have, it didn't kind of ruined a friendship. It kind of destroyed a friendship. This is a long time ago though already, like many, many years. I was still in school for design. I went to school for graphic design. I didn't graduate. I'm a dropout, but I got enough information that I've been able to fake my way into a career. Nice. But while I was in school, I had a really good friend who he was also at the same university, but running for whatever they call it, like student council or something like that. Mm. He had told me, I'm gonna have this budget. We're going to, I can build like posters and blah, 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 put them around to get elected into the student council. And with me being in school for design, photography was a portion of that. He's like, hey, can you take some pictures because you know how to, and then make a poster, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, sure, I don't have the time to do it, but you've got a budget, so let's do it. I did all this work. I spent probably 8 to 12 hours on his campaign between taking the photos, editing them, creating all the posters and all the banners and all that. And 3 weeks later, he's like, yeah, I spent all my money in the budget, getting the posters printed and stuff. So I can't pay you for anything. Oh, and I don't even think he knows. This is why I just stopped talking to him. I'm done. It's okay. If you're not going to respect the time that I put into it. Water under the bridge at this point, even though I'm bringing it up a decade later.
It totally sound. It's not him. It's the thought process.
It's the thought process. If I saw him, I'd be cordial. I'd be happy to see him again. But it was one of those things where it felt like I'll pay you an exposure, except there was a monetary promise at the beginning of it, and then at the end it was like, the posters are up.
Yeah, I mean that kind of thing is actually possibly one of the worst things you can do to a friend. Just say, I'm going to pay you for this thing, and then back out.
That's why you don't.
That one hurt. That one hurt a little.
Don't do business with your friends. That is one of the major, unless you have, and that's when he probably wrote up his first contract. My contracts are 10 pages long. Yeah, you don't realize how like contracts matter more in art and stuff that is nebulous and subjective than anything else, because they will try to take you to the cleaners. They will micromanage, but you got to let them pay for the, and here's the one thing that I didn't understand until I got into it proper. You have to make sure that you hold their feet to the fire to give you examples of the work being on cards and business cards and stuff like that. Otherwise, it's just like it's your word against, it's just like, I made this. It's like, okay, let's see it in use. Yeah, it's just like you don't realize how much you got to hold their feet to the fire. It's definitely of more of all the things on earth. The client, the business relationship with the client is equally culpable, especially in graphic design and video editing. They have to be like, if they're not as involved as you are, then you can tell them to get lost, which you have to do sometimes.
Well, and especially for like freelance stuff, one of the best ways to protect yourselves from bad clients is ask for 50% up front. If they're not willing to pay you 50% up front, then they're not worth doing business with, because they're going to screw you over or try to lower the cost at the end of it. If you tell them, hey, pay me 50% and then I'll get started, unless you already have like a good relationship with that client, then like first time clients, 50% up front, regardless, no matter what, non-refundable. Doesn't matter if I never touch the project again because you turn into a huge asshole. I'm keeping 50% of whatever I quoted you.
That's nice.
I will say I did get burned once because I paid someone 50% up front, and then they came back asking for more of it afterwards. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I guess I can give you a little more. And then it gets to the end and it's like, I would like to get my project before I give you the last quarter of it. Because I mean, obviously at this point I've paid you 3/4 of it. I don't feel it's necessarily bad on my end to want to make sure I get the product before I finish paying you at this point, since you've already come and asked me for more money. And then I never got the thing, so I lost like.
It's a great way to separate good creatives from bad creatives. The people who deliver after taking 50% of your money. The people who don't deliver typically don't last very long. They get a couple payouts, and then everybody is crucifying them wherever they can find them.
Oh, it's scary the number of people. You can't mention graphic design, editing, anything like that on Twitter, or your mentions, your inbox is just destroyed. You get way too much, and often they're the exact type of people who will ask you for 50% up front and then deliver you nothing.
Yeah,
I kind of did the opposite with Horror, right?
He did.
I was in a rut. I was so disappointed. I had to stop. I had a great client until they were horrible, and I had to we had to part ways, and I just had nothing, and I'm just like, so. She's like, hey, I need help. And then she told me her horror story. I remember you telling me about the 50%. You're a piece of garbage when you piss off an interdimensional being. Like the fact that she let you continue going about the universe without driving him. I just don't understand. You are a benevolent and kind Lovecraftian being. We appreciate that. But
I try.
No. But it was like, it's just... And here's the other thing. Here's the one thing that people really don't understand. If you're making something that can be put on swag and merchandise, you own the copyright. That could be the name of the company. It could be your logo, but your ass owns the copyright. Hold the copyright if there's money to be made.
Yeah.
Do not give them all the rights. If that's because that's where the money gets made, where they have to come back to you. And there's nothing wrong with that. By the way, don't feel bad. If you feel upset, like you might be upsetting people, you're in the wrong business. Like you just got to be business minded. And then once you get all that sorted out, then you kind of can have fun. But that's the worst part. And that's why people burn out, is because of the freaking client interaction.
Oh yeah. Yep.
That's why I was
upset.
mean.
Oh, go ahead.
Yes. No. Go ahead. No. Yeah, they are mean. They're very they think that what they do is important. What you do is just ancillary. It's like, well, I'm going to be the look of your company. I think I'm pretty damn important. Yeah. So yeah.
I always try to, when I look to do that, I always try to be very nice to the people I'm hiring, because I want them to do their best job. It's like you go to a restaurant, you're not mean to the waiter because you don't want him to spit in your food.
Right.
Yes, Horror Amarada is very nice. I even had to tell her, you can be a little meaner. It's okay. If you want something, it's okay. It's so funny. Sometimes you have to tell them, you can be a little more of an asshole. It's fine. I just want to get, when you meter yourself, that's when you become, but then she's like, okay, I want this. And I'm like, okay, all right, there we go. And it was tentacles are being added. And then it got fun. But horror. Okay. Can we all just agree? I know Horror Amarada is the best of us. That's why I'm so,
this is weird.
What? Did he?
I said, why are we talking about me so much? This is weird.
Because you're interdimensional. I don't catch you that often. You're in other areas. So Sorry. Okay, I'll
No,
stop.
you're-
I haven't
good.
talked to you in about 2 years, so my bad.
I
But-
love you, so I appreciate all the kind words. It's just at some point I start to I get paranoid.
Oh, I made an interdimensional being married. Okay, so
Yeah, well, there's all those dimensions I have to look out for. It's like, so. However, an important question is: did your friend get elected though?
He did end up getting elected. Yeah, yeah, it was a successful campaign. I will take all the kudos for it, since it was my posters and designs that did it. none of what he was running on.
Yeah, right.
Well, in this day and age, that's probably true.
Actually, yeah, I was gonna say that's not far from the truth at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, without the spectacular posters and pictures, people would have never looked at his policies. So there's
fair.
that.
I'm pretty sure they looked like shit, but it's a long time ago now. I've since improved.
And moved on with your life, which is even better. So
yes.
what if he becomes a horrible politician though? What if you were what if you were the stepping stone? What if you could have been the force for good instead of evil, and then he becomes a horrible person later in life?
This is like the question of, if you could go back in time and kill a specific historical person, would you? If I could go back in time and not create the political posters, would I? Hopefully I don't live in Canada anymore by the time it becomes a problem.
Yay! That's the best answer. There you go.
are you looking for your way out? Are you digging your underground tunnel? Is that what's going on here?
I would love to. Canada sucks. I would love to get out. That's actually one of the really nice things about working with Caleb, is just there is opportunity, slightly easier to get over the border than if we didn't, have that
Right.
job opportunity right now. So
That makes sense.
I know, I don't know who here is a homeowner, but if you're a homeowner in the US, it's better than owning a home in Canada, because every 5 years, we have to re-qualify for our mortgage, regardless of if I've increased my salary or lost my job. I have to re-qualify for my mortgage at a new interest rate for the remainder of what I owe. So, yeah, it's cancer. I was
That's
sitting.
bullshit.
That is awful.
I have a 25-year mortgage. I'm 4.5 years into paying it at like a 2% interest rate. The interest rate in Canada, the Bank of Canada the interest rate has almost tripled since I qualified for my mortgage. So next year I have to re-qualify at a tripled rate off of the remainder of what I owe on the mortgage.
What is the logic behind that?
The logic behind it is, I actually don't know what I can say that might put me in jail. We don't have freedom of speech here. I can't even say what I want to say.
I'm not trying to get you in trouble. I apologize. We're not trying to get you thrown
Daddy
into Canadian
Trudeau,
jail.
please forgive me.
However, I'm an American. Fuck Trudeau.
Yeah,
There you go. I didn't say it.
You come get me. You come get me after I say that. Fuck Trudeau. Also, if you
You're
can
like,
get into
"No,
Alberta,
guys, don't
you and your
say
kid,
that."
I will gladly drive up and smuggle you in the back of my car if we have to. I mean,
Perfect. There just has to be room for my wife and 2 children.
like I said, I can find a vehicle big enough. We'll just lay some blankets over you. It'll be
Perfect.
good. Just don't sneeze.
Okay. I don't think that's illegal at all. If I do make my way into America, I plan on leaving as of the recording of this podcast.
That's what we'll tell them.
That's what you need. See, we'll bring it all around here. You need to sell the table to be able to get your work visa to get into this country. There you go. Boom.
There we go.
It's true. Perfect.
There we
There
go.
we go.
Circle of life.
This is how it works, guys. This is what you do. You help your friends get into better places, even if they're kind of having their own problems right now. But yeah, but I can't figure out why that would be a good. Who thought that was a great idea? Why would you want anybody to have to research? But that's the problem with central banking. However, we won't get off on my random tangents of governmental stupidity.
The real reason behind it is, I think it was a reaction to the 2008 crisis of people losing their houses because they were being approved for things that they couldn't long-term stay into. And so it's a way for the banks to essentially insulate themselves. Every 5 years, the people who are in the house, can you still afford it? And can the banks continue to make their ridiculous interest rate money on what they gave you?
I'm confused how that helps the people.
Well, it doesn't, but Canada doesn't care about helping the people.
Oh, right. I forgot. Sorry. I got confused. Oh my God. That is a nightmare. I mean, yeah, we have to pay property taxes in some places, but oh my God.
Yeah. And like my taxation rate is close to 50% when you calculate your GST on all the goods and what I have to pay the government just based off of my salary and stuff as well. It's close to 50% where I'm at.
Oh my God. And that's just raw out. That's not, wow.
Yeah.
That's not even accounting for things like sales tax and all that.
Yeah.
You start adding that in, you're probably over 50. That's scary.
Mm-hmm.
We do have all dressed potato chips in America, by the way. There are people, enterprising companies that have brought it over. So there's really no reason. And I know how to make poutine, so I can just help you out a little bit.
I have no idea what an all dressed potato chip is. I'm not.
Okay.
You are missing out.
Ruffles makes one. It's amazing. It's basically all the seasonings that Canadians love, right?
Oh.
Yeah, I can't really even describe the flavor of it. Like the flavor is unlike anything you'll ever have on a potato chip in all of the best ways.
But it's vaguely familiar. That's the weird part. Like it's a little familiar, but you can't put it.
It tastes like nostalgia.
Interesting.
That's so good. Anyways.
Well, Iron said he has to go in a minute. So you wanna give us let people know where to find you and all that fun stuff?
For sure. And thanks for having me on again. Sorry I couldn't stay throughout this whole show. I've got another thing I got to go jump onto in about
That's okay. Most talking
5 minutes. you know how the life is. But hey, it's good meeting you, Andy. Good hearing. I really like hearing about you and Mo go back and forth about the editing thing, especially again being definitely an outsider to that and just kind of self-taught with very minimal experience. So always good to hear that. You guys know where to find me on Twitter, just Iron Oxide, just like it sounds. It's on Twitter, Rumble, YouTube. Every Friday at 5:30 p.m. PST, there's a weekly Rogues Gallery. That's about the only thing I got going on for the moment, but hope to see you all again later. Take care.
Sure thing. Have a great day.
Pledge, brother.
See you, man.
Bye. Peace. All right, Mo, you got him to yourself now. What now?
Ooh. No, I apologize. Like no, I could smell the I don't want to be in computer science for the rest of my life kind of vibe. Like you can kind of tell when people are like my spidey senses, my Mo senses were tingling. So I was just like, plus I had a lot of good Canadian friends and I feel bad. They were great back then, but I feel bad for them now. Sorry. Trudeau sucks. Yeah.
Trudeau sucks. He legalized weed and then everything else went downhill.
Well, I mean, of course, the government's the one people who can sell drugs and do it at a loss.
Right. Yeah.
Yes. Very true. At the expense of their people. And I'm not talking about money.
I mean, the government always operates at the expense of the people. But again, then we're going to get into a whole nother side of my political spins on everything. And nobody wants that. We don't want to listen to how I think the government should be ended altogether. So
you can just follow her on Twitter.
No, yeah, if you want those takes, that's where you go for that. I will gladly tell you where the government can stick it. Why did I hear it? What? Why did I hear the snap of nitro? Oh, yeah. Well, you never know. It is Canada. They could be coming for him now. He's hanging out with us treasonous Americans.
Yeah, the Daddy Trudeau is coming to check in on me. He's going to do some reprogramming after the podcast.
Oh boy. That's okay. You'll be okay. I'm sure.
I hope so. I have no intention of not living anymore. You're just throwing it out there. If things go dark on Twitter or there's no more second channel edit videos on Upa's channel, something happened.
So we have here now that he is planning to stay alive. He is happy. He is content. There is no reason for him to stop editing, leave YouTube or Twitter. He's a happy person.
Yes. Yes.
And the only maid he's concerned with is the one that cleans his house, not any other maid. So, you got to keep it Canadian here. We got to keep it in his realm.
He didn't break a toe or something.
Right. I never thought I'd see Futurama be correct 1,000 years ahead of time, but here we are.
Well, to be fair, it didn't start in Canada. That actually started in Sweden with those pods, but they made suicide pods in Sweden.
I lived in northern Indiana. I wanted a pod after a few winters. All right, I know the feeling.
So another from the creator angle question that I have is, so for those who are more aggressive in telling you what they want, because as Mo said, I have problems being aggressive in describing what I like or would like to see. How do you prefer they communicate those sorts of things to you?
I think like approaching things very collaboratively is one of the best ways to do it. Of like, when you hire somebody typically because they are better at doing the thing you want them to do. Like if I'm going to hire somebody to take care of my lawn, it's because I'm probably not going to be as good as the person that I pay to do it. And so if you're hiring somebody to edit for you or do graphic design or whatever, you want to like trust them. But it should also be, you have like, you hire somebody good when they are trying to get more information out of you, as opposed to taking the first sentence you sent them and being like, okay, cool, I'll like run with that. Getting some more information, things you like, things you dislike. I personally love sending proofs and previews and like just screenshots of stuff to be like, hey, what do you think? Do you like this? Do you like the direction? Is there anything you want to change? And some people get really annoyed. They're like, just send me the thing when it's done. But I'm like, I want you to be a part of this process, because I don't want, if I don't want to like send you something that I've spent 8 hours on and I really like it, and you get it, and now you don't like a portion of it or all of it or whatever, and I've wasted time. You feel like you've wasted time and money. So I think, approach it like collaboratively. And for the person who's hiring out, also approach it collaboratively. You don't want it to be like, I'm just going to tell them what I want, and when I get it, that's what I get. Have a conversation, make it a living thing until it is actually complete and set in stone.
It should be like a little baby that you both had.
Yes.
And a lot of your language that you see in contracts actually says that. It's basically, and it's not so much is like binding. It is in a manner of speaking, but it's to let them know, hey, you got a lot of involvement in this. Yes, I'm going to be doing a lot of the footwork, but I need your feedback. Because one of the worst things, no feedback is worse than any feedback. It could be passionate, angry feedback. It could be somewhat indifferent, good feedback. I don't like indifferent feedback, but any feedback, like even if you say this stinks, fine, I got feedback. No feedback is like, it makes you sweat. You're like, what? I don't know what to do. What's going on? I'm not getting anything back. Yeah, that's the worst. If they're not engaged, that's when you're going down the wrong path.
And I think like as a creative also, when you get feedback, don't take it personally. Like it's not supposed to be a personal attack on you or your ability 90% of the time. I mean, there's people out there who will do that. But one of the most valuable things you can learn as a creative who is going to be, working towards clients or whatever it is, even if you're a full-time salaried employee in an office, not taking things personally and being able to say, yeah, okay, I'll go make those changes or whatever. Too many times have I seen other designers basically break down because they get told that their thing isn't what the client wanted or whatever.
Isn't that amazing? I just don't understand that. It's like saying you work at Texas Roadhouse, but I'm a vegan. It's like, why the hell are you here? Why are you in creative? Why are you in creative design? Why are you in any kind of design where you take everything personally? I could get people heated. They don't like it. Like, I don't even think about it past when I get in my car or when I sign off for the day. Cause it's just like, literally you have to be that way. You can be passionate in the moment, but you cannot take it home with you. I don't understand those people.
Yeah. And like, I just don't.
Go ahead.
And just having like your own thing, your own outlet outside of it where nobody is going to tell you if you like it or not. You finish a project and that's your thing. It's done. It's like, so I've got my stickers or whatever. Like when I'm done it, or like creating YouTube videos, when I'm finished, I can talk to the camera and not edit anything. And I'm happy with it. That's cool. It's posted. It's done. That's my thing. That's how I let my own creative juices flow. And then I can do my actual job. I can go do the thing.
This man is spitting truth. The only thing wrong with this man is he lives in Canada. That's all I got to say.
He's working on. Nobody can be perfect.
But but he's spitting the eternal truths of design. He is telling you, he's putting the right emphasis on the right area. Like I'm telling you, like I need to go subscribe to Oompaville. That's what I've learned from this. So.
Yes.
Well, yeah, you should have already done that.
Well, I gotta meter my coolness.
Oompa TV is where you'll see some notes from editor Andy.
Yeah, you see,
really?
the
Okay.
Oompa TV channel. That's what we need. Because you see, I've already subscribed to Oompaville, so it's like, where do I go for more Andy? Because I mean,
Oompa
now
TV.
I get Andy and Oompa in the same package. This is amazing. I like this package.
Oompa TV, subscribe. There you go. I am on there. I will now watch. So
Perfect.
You made a fan out of me, if only because of design. I might go heavy with my criticisms, but it's only because I know that you'll take them to heart. So.
Perfect.
Because I need an outlet to go shit post. All right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So. And I'll just sit and watch because I don't know shit. So. And for anybody else who would like to subscribe to Oompaville's second channel and check out more of what Andy does, it is there in the chat for you to go look at. Because we should all support each other like good people or something. Is that a human thing to say?
It sounded human.
In this dimension, yes.
Okay.
I don't know if it works in Canada, but in America, we do really like that. Yeah. So.
Yes.
I get confused. You know how that goes. Go ahead, Mo.
No, I said I agreed. I just because I didn't want to get.
No, I was telling you to ask more questions.
Oh, ask more questions. Oh, you told me I talked too much earlier.
Yes, but when
she's pulling her Lovecraftian magic on me. I'm on to you, horror.
For the record, that's not Lovecraftian. That's just female. So
you're right. Yes, I should know. That kind of those lines kind of blur. It's like Minnesota and Canada. I don't know where they end and the other one begins. So they're both kind of communist. So
yeah.
I said it. I said it. Not Andy. I said it. Yes. So.
But he agreed. It's okay. That was a fake agreement to appease the Americans. He absolutely loves Canada and would in no way disparage the name of Canada. And to answer this question, yes, I can say as an unofficial third party who does not work for Oompaville, the candy is good.
The candy is good. The candy's delicious. Buy the candy. Sour.gg. All the candy.
Yeah.
Sourdough. Okay. I want to check that out. Let me
highly recommend. I really loved the sour apple. That was good.
I love sour candy. Like, I think I've had this. Have I had this before? It looks very familiar. Ooh, I love
they
the
did the
art
collab
on
with
package.
Meta
That is
PCs,
awesome.
and that was really good. I liked that.
That's what it
flavor
was.
too.
Okay.
Yeah. Our designer that works with the Sour Boys brand she's very talented. She's incredible.
Nice.
I love that. I'd get it just for the art. I love that stuff. But I love
the
good sour candy. I'm trying to turn down my sweet tooth. I don't want to have
my
too
only
much
critique
candy,
is it could be a little more sour. But like I said, really? I love sour things. So if it doesn't make the back of my mouth pucker, it's not sour enough.
So who here has had? This is a blast from the past. Tear jerkers.
Yes.
Tear jerkers were my favorite. Like it was painful how sour those things were.
Yeah, and you can't find that kind of stuff anymore. It's sad.
I know. I miss that. Atomic fireballs. Yep.
Oh yeah. It says sour candy on the outside, and you eat it, and it's like that's not really sour.
Yeah, Sour Patch Kids is like very, very baseline. That's like Touch of Grey if you're a Grateful Dead fan. It's like, okay, we know you like that. You haven't got the greatest hits yet. You haven't had tear jerkers, you haven't had like you haven't chewed a piece of Big Red and stuck it to your forehead so it burns,
Yeah.
You got to do fun stuff with candy. It's meant to be a challenge at a certain point. So.
Oh yeah. That's what the atomic fireballs were always about.
Oh, hold on your tongue. Like, oh. Yeah. So good. So what do you guys do for fun in Canada?
I think he makes
dream of going to America.
We dream of escape.
Well said.
It depends. Like I'm a huge fan of winter sports. So like I like snowboarding and taking my kids out skating and stuff like that. That's always fun. Summertime, I'm just like, I like to be just as active as I can. So I try to get out every day, do like walks and bike rides and stuff. And then, I don't know. I just hang out with the family. That's one of the things that's been so nice about the transition to working for Oompaville full time is like, I get my stuff done and I get to spend time with my family and my kids. And like the freedom that has offered is just so awesome to like go from an office job where I was there from 9 to 5, leave before the kids were up, be at home for just a few hours, and then they go to bed. Kind of like hearing them and being around them all day it's just so awesome. It's just such a different, like, I feel very blessed as a parent to be able to be a part of my kids' lives more than before.
Very awesome.
You need to escape across the border, sir. Just make sure you don't have any fruits and vegetables in your car. I'm sure you'll be fine.
Okay. Fruits, vegetables. I think they don't like firewood also. That's a big one they get upset at.
Really,
I would appreciate it if you brought over some real maple syrup, though. Because even the real stuff they have here is shit. So
I would like some Kinder eggs because they don't sell the real ones here.
Okay. Yeah.
So I need some of those.
The danger of choking eggs.
Yes. How in the world oh my God, that pisses me so much. So I grew up in Germany for a little while. So I had the original Kinder eggs. And then I was always wondering here in the US, well, why can't we get them? It's because once upon a time, way back when, some people actually stuck like an entire metal car inside of a candy bar. And people were biting into it and breaking their teeth. So they passed this law where you couldn't totally encase something inedible inside of a candy. So despite the fact when you eat a Kinder egg, you can actually pop it open and the egg is inside of another egg. That it's not legal here because it's totally encased. And it's always been one of those things that really pissed me off because it's like, if you open a Kinder egg and you try to eat that other egg inside, maybe you deserve it.
That's true. I like the idea of you deserve it. You just deserve the bad things that happen to you. We need to stop. You know what? I'm going to say it. I'll get a little controversial. We need to stop protecting the stupid people. We just have to.
Yes.
We can't.
Yes.
There's too many of them.
Is there anybody in this chat that will give this man a work visa? All right. Just have him be like a hockey announcer for like a little shit minor league team and then just like, oh this hoser. Yeah. Because he knows more than most of your southern states. Like, he could be a Phoenix Coyote like announcer. He'd be fine. So
there we go.
Yeah, he could just be a part-timer.
Anymore, though. They moved to, I think, Ohio.
Oh.
The Phoenix Coyotes are no more.
Nice. Yeah, I wouldn't know that.
Yeah. I clean guns. I have never... I've shot guns, but they're illegal up here. I can't look at them without being put on a list.
I'm sure Caleb's working on getting him here. Caleb seems like that kind of person.
Yeah.
He seems
I feel like it's a carrot. He's like, he just dangles an American flag in the meeting. He's like, come on, you want to. Like,
and come on,
come on.
But there's all those legal issues he's got to go through, I'm sure. But that's one thing I can say from watching his videos. He seems like a very, very sweet person who might occasionally be taken a little more than he probably should be. But that's actually one of the things I really enjoy about watching him is that he's always got that big heart to him, it seems to me. So
yeah, absolutely. Caleb just cares so much. He cares so much about like what he's doing and the projects that he's got in the works outside and beyond just YouTube and creating like visual content. He's got so many cool things in the works and just like truly a blessing to work with him and with the team and everybody that's a part of it. Cause I think there's like, obviously you look at something like the Mr. Beast stuff that's going on right now and things can get so large that they become not as fun or not as like personable or the creator themselves becomes like larger than the channel. And Caleb hasn't hit that, even hitting 6 million subscribers, and he's just a great guy to talk with, great guy to chill with, hang out with, a good boss who like keeps everybody accountable, but also wants everybody to be having fun and enjoying what they're doing.
Yeah. Well, my mother, Mama Amarada here, is saying if you would be willing to work in a warehouse or delivery, she can get you a job here in Montana. So that is a possibility in the event that you find for some reason you can't escape based on video design alone.
Perfect.
So you have
Quick
options.
question for the Montana resident: is it still reasonable and prudent? Is that still the speed limit there?
No, they got rid of. Oh God, that whole story. Don't even. So I was 18.
I know. Sorry.
when that happened.
Sorry. Yeah.
When I was 18 back in 2000, they decided to change the speed limit to reasonable and prudent. What that means is that you drove at a reasonable speed for the current road conditions. So when you're talking, I mean, I don't know how much of Canada you've driven, but when you're talking a rural state and you have 100 miles between you and the next city, to be able to zip down that highway at 80, 90 miles an hour is quite valuable, and it helps, condense the amount of time you spend traveling, which people in the bigger cities don't understand because, well, we won't get into that. So they had that law, and it was a law for, I don't remember, it was just about a year, but because the feds, damn them, decided to pull the funding for Montana roads based on that alone. And because they managed to skew the statistics around accidents involving speed. I mean, they took out factors such as people who are driving drunk and etc. To make it seem like the law itself had caused more good than bad, or more bad than good. They changed it back to the federal mandated speeds, more or less.
Lame.
Yeah. So if you ask why I'm bitter about the government, it's A, because they won't let me drive how I want to, and B, because they won't fucking let me own chickens. So there's other reasons, but those are my top two on a general day. And yes,
it's good to have your priorities straight, at least.
Well, I mean, I have plenty of space. I could have 4 chickens in my yard without any issue, but because they think I need an acre of land for 4 chickens, which I just want for some eggs, apparently I can't have them, and I think it's bullshit.
We're running into the same problem here. It's a red state, but you can have chickens in the city, but if you have a farmhouse, you can't. Like, what? It's just bureaucracy. Anyways, as much as I'd love to go down the L word slide, which I love. Yay. But I agree with I think this is something that Andy can definitely agree with, and something you'll deal with if you move to the southern states. That chat from 47 past the hour. Warm weather people don't understand rural snowy driving like we do. No.
Yeah.
That is why people down south can't drive, because they've never been pushed to the limit.
Mm-hmm.
Never been pushed to the limit. So if you move to America, that's one of the main caveats is people will not use their turn signals. They'll floor it in icy wet. Like, just, that's the only thing you got to get used to. Other than that, if you can deal with that, you're good. So.
Okay. So we are coming up on the top of the hour. We better get into some more of these memes before time slips away from us. That was the wrong button.
I'd say. Wrong dimension.
Yeah. Wrong dimensional slip there. And here we are with more Phantom X memes. This would be Jeremy and Ryan Kinnell at the RNC, and I love the fact that he's got the King Tut outfit on.
Those freaking Adidas Crocs those are so cursed. You want to tell? Yeah, I noticed you guys talk about cursed things. Those are cursed. Oh my.
Oh God, no one should be wearing Adidas Crocs.
Oh no, our poor.
Oh no, what happened here? It's a tea party, or something. I recognize that dragon, but I don't at the same time.
Oh, look at the little Canadian guy there.
Oh, right. He's so happy drinking tea. Look at you, you're now a meme.
Perfect. I love that.
That's very wholesome. That's way too wholesome for Isaac if he made that.
Yeah, they're being way too nice. I think they like you.
Well, that's nice. I like all of you, chat. You're all very kind.
He's trying to usurp my people. Don't you have enough subscribers?
And here you have Fear the Dorito.
Legs are too big.
Yeah, well, you can only do so much. Here he's hiding the legs in the pants. So that's an interesting set of outfits for sure.
Somehow they work.
Yeah, yes and no.
Kind of.
I mean,
but not impossible.
I wouldn't wear it, but I have taste. And wonder what she thought afterwards when she found out, or if anybody told her, or if she even cared about that whole picture with Jay.
And see, this is Phantom X. This is why Phantom X rules. I can see the set of ears behind the set of ears. Like, he just, done.
He didn't.
He's a short order
a
cook.
little bigger.
Yeah, he still has room.
Oh God.
I'm very expressive, and that is, look.
Yeah, I mean,
on to the next one.
That is an appropriate expression in that situation. So you have to wonder if it's hers.
I do like that Pete's Dragon one. That is very wholesome.
That was very cute.
One of the few ones that Isaac makes I can actually share with my child.
See if I'm missing anything. No, I'm not seeing enough memes here, guys. You're slacking off. Oh my God.
Not
You know,
enough
just because
movement.
Rox isn't here isn't a good reason.
That's absolutely the reason. Because he's gone, you should meme more.
Yeah,
Right?
that's
The gates are
actually-
wide
'cause
open. Yeah.
I allow much more than he does. I'm far more permissive.
She's doing
Check
many
again.
things.
No, that's all we got. I'm a tiny bit disappointed. I'm sad, guys. I don't know what to say.
I
about
will say this: I saw core member. I don't know if you follow. I don't know who you follow or where the crossovers happen between Oompaville and in the Fellowship, the 199, all that stuff. Have you seen core member, one of the Legion of Memers, where he does AI stuff?
No, I have
He's
not.
really good at AI. Like, it's amazing.
Yeah, hold on. I'll show that off because that is a really great job that he did.
He's just a good follow just because of that. He just tries to throw all kinds of stuff against the wall. He's awesome. And I'm saying that not because he's a fellow Legion member. Like, this is just animated. He didn't he draw it and then he animated it or something? I'm sorry.
I don't know. I think he AI'd it. Like, he AI designed it and then he AI animated it. Because I know he was having a lot of problems getting the AI to do the a consistent visual every time he asked it. And then he's been working on the animation stuff too.
That's
yeah,
really
he's
cool.
really good about speaking to it and like fine tuning it, and he lets you know. He's a fun follow. He really is. He's got some great AI stuff. Yeah, sorry.
He's also a great
around the
guy in
subject.
general. So there's that too. But it is time to get wrapping up. So, Isaac sent 2 more though. So, because despite the fact he's late to the party, I will show them off anyway. As soon as I get to them. They'll be in here somewhere.
Yep.
Oh, I think we missed this one. So, let's show off this. This is that's something for sure.
Oh no.
That's
Nagranol. Yep.
Yeah. Nice.
He's one of those guys. Yeah, he's a mod in every channel known to mankind. You want to talk about interdimensional? I think he might be a Cthulhu. Yeah. Like, seriously.
Eldritch being. It's just easier to say Eldritch being. It's okay. You can save your tongue. Yes. Yes. I love this one. This is fantastic.
True.
100% truth on this one.
That's the best. That's the best meme.
Yes.
We just need one of the USSR and Canada, and then
not quite that bad yet. But
I don't remember Gorbachev trampling any grandmas, but anyways, I digress.
I'm sure he did. They just didn't televise it, and you didn't have.
Those just didn't make the news, but they happened.
Right. They had a little more control back then. That one really moves cool. Sorry.
Yeah, he has an eye for
That's
art, too.
amazing.
Because there's certain people that can do it, but they just don't have that flair for the dramatic.
Yeah,
like he does such a good job, man. It
beginning
really annoys me.
That's hard.
Yeah,
as fuck. So
love the cell shading, man. That's my favorite part. It's so good. Anyways,
what would happen if Mahler, Harvey, and Horror were on the same stream as the Trinity of Cthulhu? The end of the world. So I mean, if you want it, go ahead and set it up. We'll see what we can do.
Can't, not yet. Not until it's actually the end of the world. When Canada invades America and actually wins, then it's time for that podcast. So
maybe
you're safe for many eons.
Yeah, I don't think the U.S. is too interested in invading Canada right now. It's not like they have anything we want.
It's true.
So we can make our own poutine. So Andy,
Not as
why don't
good,
you
but-
go ahead and tell people where they can find your wonderful work again, and any other messages you might have for them.
Absolutely. Well, if you guys want to see like my daily work, Oompa TV is the second channel that I work on and edit on, and so that is kind of where I'm the most active, even though I'm behind the scenes. OofItsAndy on YouTube and Twitter if you want to hang out there. And I've got a second channel that I actually do post just like shit posted, low quality stuff. OofStillAndy on the YouTube as well. So that's kind of where I'm at. If you guys do like stickers, everythingsucksupply.com is where I post those. You can check that out. And other than that, if you do want to get into editing and stuff, the best way to do it is just look at stuff that you like and you think looks good or is funny. And if you're doing like more entertainment stuff, similar to like Oompaville or anything like that, the editing is important. The pacing and like the jokes actually hitting are more important than that. That's like, learn how to do pacing, learn how to do like proper timing on stuff. Or minimal dead air unless it like helps the joke or helps something happen. Yeah, that's it. I really enjoyed this. Was like super fun. Sad that Rox is, obviously going through his health stuff, but hopefully I'll be able to come back when he's on as well and have some more fun with the memes. I quite enjoyed all of them. So this is a great time. Thank you guys.
Well, I'm glad I got to be the one to talk to you, even if Rox is in the hospital. So then that has necessitated it. But it was great to hang out and chat and learn things that I hadn't previously gotten to because I'm afraid to ask people questions unless I'm in an obvious position of power. What about you, Mo? What do you got?
Well, it was a pleasure talking shop today. I know I'm going to now. I'm interested in watching your channel now, if nothing else, to see your editing prowess. So you're on notice, sir. But no, it was a pleasure talking with you. I feel like there was a lot of, and if I might not put too much of a point on it, if you're not enjoying it, people don't even go down that road. Just make it enjoyable. That's how you learn. If you have some skin in the game, if you want to learn to do something, to make something that you enjoy, that's where the meat and potatoes of learning something is. If you're just doing it for the technical aspect, you're just wasting your time. Just enjoy it. Life's too short, unless you're horror, in which case you're eternal. So she's got time. But just enjoy it, please, and put it out there. And don't fear, like, you shouldn't fear criticism. You should welcome it. So be okay with criticism. As long as you're okay with criticism, you will get better, period. Because people will want to help you. If you're asking for advice, there's so many people out there like Andy that are just really, that are more than willing to, they're, people that are good at their art aren't afraid to share tips.
Yep.
People that are guarded, you got to be careful with those kind of people. You should be around people that want to help you succeed, not succeed at the expense of you. So
yes.
That's all I got to say. Surround yourself with those kind of people. I can tell Andy does. It's been a pleasure talking with you today, sir. Good luck on getting south of the border.
Thank you. Yeah.
The best south of the border.
So when Rox gets better, I hope we get to talk to you again, man. It's been a pleasure talking with you, honestly.
The same with both of you guys, as well as Iron, who's in here earlier. Pleasure to meet you guys and hang out. So really, really appreciated it. And again, hopefully we can be back.
Had a lot of fun. Apparently you were supposed to ask him how tall he was. Vagabundo's saying, did Mo ask you how tall you are? Is that a thing?
Okay. Real quick. I get annoyed with I gatekeep the 6 feet and taller club because everybody says they're 6 feet tall when they're not. It's okay if you're not. I don't care. But how tall are you, Andy? In feet, not meters. I'm
an average king. I'm 5'8". And on a really good day, I'm 5'9". If I slept really good and do my stretches in the morning.
No, he's 5'9".
There you go.
Well, there we go. And he was honest
happy,
about it.
Vagabundo? Yeah.
Apparently he is. I don't know. If you want to catch me, you can either catch me on my streaming channel, which is Horror Amarada. I'm not doing as much streaming as much lately because I am more focused on the video channel, which is the Abysmal Critic, where I talk about basically whatever is going on in video gaming news right now that has interested me, that I get to complain about, or I occasionally post things that I'm happy about, though I found nobody actually watches those. It's kind of depressing. If y'all would start watching happier content, I would be happier and the world might last longer. You never know. That said, please be sure, if you guys are here and you don't already follow the Legion of Memers channel, please by all means do. Send your well wishes to No Green Rocks. He will be back soon. I am sure the hospital is taking good care of his poor little tummy, and he will be once again back to rule over you with an iron fist. But that said, there is no outro today because our poor friend didn't have the time to design it in the way he normally would. So we're just going to go ahead and we're going to say bye-bye. And the people who have teeth are going to smile and wave. And I'm going to click the end stream button. So bye, everybody, and have a great day.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks for having me.